As a radical feminist, if you were to ask me what I'm fighting for, I would give you this umbrella and I'll say, okay, I want a better world for women. I did not say a more poor world for women. Like I said, I do not believe in addressing symptoms. I would say, let me get to the root cause of why this system is.
I have a problem with the women that claim to be feminists but are obviously misandrist. Or would you say that they are the same thing?
Misandry is not a political movement, so it can't be the same as feminism. Misandry is a consequence. It's like a side effect of misogyny. I have a problem with how religion is practiced, especially in countries like Nigeria, for example.
Okay.
Nigeria is not a country that gives room for people who do not fit, who do not conform to certain systems. A system, for example, is the religious system. Have you seen how we treat atheists? Have you seen how we treat traditional worshippers? Have you seen how we treat anybody who does not subscribe to the Christianity and Islam? Would I say I hate men? I don't think so. I'm surprised it took this long for the question to come up. I don't hate men. I'm more so indifferent to men.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the HotPotato Podcast. And we're coming on a very odd day. Production has actually called us to come to set today.
I won't call it odd. I call it a special day.
Sure, whatever. Anyway, it's a beautiful day, and it's your boy D Donaldola, and with me is
TY Dev's one and only. Sorry, I sound like this, but
yeah. Hopefully, we know why later on in the video. I've always wanted to have a conversation with
with what?
With
what?
Favour, are you a feminist?
I am.
Good. I've always wanted to have a conversation with a feminist.
Okay, no, I see where you're going. She might actually be a true feminist.
Well, we're gonna find out. So, what definition would suit what you are fighting for?
Yes.
Okay, basically, I feel like feminism, radical feminism or whatnot, is or should be the questioning of systems, getting to the root cause of systems that oppress women. So questioning them, highlighting them, and then fighting to end them, basically. Now, these systems are religious, they are social, they are cultural, they are, they are systems in the workplace, whatnot. So these are all systems, and systems affect women differently. These systems affect women differently. These systems look differently from country to country.
Okay, so I just want to get a bit more personal now. Have you had a personal experience that made you, was it a personal experience that made you want to become a radical feminist?
Okay, I don't think so. I've been a feminist for longer than I even knew that the word exists. Like as a child, I just could not wrap my head around why things were the way they were. And I was a very inquisitive child, so I like to know why. For instance, growing up, like 6, 7, 8, thereabout, my mom would call me into the kitchen. She would be like, oh, Favour, come and join me in the kitchen. My older brother, I have an older brother, he's a year older than me. He's watching TV. My younger siblings are watching TV. And then I'll ask, why only me? Why not them? Like, I get the younger siblings, they are too young, but like, why not my older brother? And then she would tell me, oh, you're the only one who likes helping me, whatnot. My dad was like, less blunt, he'll be, because you're a girl, and you need to know how to cook, because you're going to be a wife someday, you're going to be a mother someday. And I did not understand that in the sense that, okay, let's say being a wife and a mother, sure, that's fine. I need, or I should have this skill. But why does my brother not need to have this skill? Is he not going to be a husband and a father someday? Okay. Is this not going to be useful to him? So I was not a fan of how things were unequal. I hated anything. And if you did not give me a good reason, I would dig my foot even more. Like, I'm asking a question, you're telling me because I'm a girl. That's not a reason. Like, you're not giving me a tangible reason. Even at 7, I knew that was not a reason. So in fighting these systems, it was when I was older, like the older I got, the more, like as a child, people would indulge you. They'll tell you, oh, okay, this is just how it is. Even if you're questioning, they see you as like a child just making noise. Then the older you get, they expect that, oh, this child will come off it at a certain age. The older I get, the more I cannot wrap my head around these unequal systems. And then the more people would now change, the tone would change from, instead of like indulging, to sort of condescending. That was how I discovered the word feminism. I think I was like 13, 12, and then someone flung the feminist word at me. I was like, oh, you're doing like a feminist, so even Chimamanda, she married at one point, you have to calm down. And I'm like, that was even how I discovered Chimamanda. I was like, who is Chimamanda? And now, as someone who's almost 21, I've read Chimamanda. Chimamanda is still not like the center of my feminism. So the people that at the time were like, oh, you have to reach where Chimamanda reached and then stop. I could not understand that because feminism means differently to different people and it presents differently. Feminists are not a monolith. What Chimamanda considers the center of our feminism cannot be what I consider the center. It cannot look the same, basically. So that is how I came to understand the word feminism. That's how I came to identify as a feminist. It was something I've been doing for a long time. It was a belief I had until I said, oh, okay, this exists. This is a thing.
So why haven't you subscribed? It wouldn't take you less than 2 seconds to subscribe. Please subscribe. I mean it, subscribe.
For every movement, there's a goal.
Okay.
NSAS 2020, the goal was to NSAS, basically. And then attached to it was like bad governance, all those nonsense. Right. Did we achieve the goal? Yes. So that's a movement. So everybody you see under the umbrella of, sort of. SARS ended. Yes, is there SARS in Nigeria? No.
But there is.
But not completely.
Yes, exactly.
But my point is, that umbrella, the umbrella of that movement, NSAS, everybody that was there, if you ask them, what are you fighting for? They'll tell you it's to NSAS. To end the killing of the young boys, right? So for feminism, which is a movement as well, the movement started to, I mean, initially back then when it started for like advocating for women's rights, essentially, to like have equal opportunities to office, don't like right to do things in society, like own money, own houses and stuff like that back then when it started, right? Things like that, go to school and all that, right? So back then, if you ask the people that are fighting for it, what they were fighting for, they will list out the same thing for you, every single one of them. But this day and age, you have feminists that cannot tell you what they are fighting for.
Okay.
Because in all honesty, like I've been listening to you and you've not said one like exact thing that you're fighting for right now as a feminist. So I'd like to know. Because she asked you a question about feminists on social media and you said there's no answer to that question.
I think, okay, if I were to like summarize I was giving a story because I felt like I had to like give context. But these social media feminists, I can say that they came to a space, that's the social media space, where women were not readily welcome. And when women existed in these spaces, they were met with a lot of abuse. The online misogyny is a thing. They were met with so much abuse. So these feminists existing loudly in these spaces, it was to combat online feminism. So that's a goal.
Okay, so the goal of online social media feminists is basically to fight
combat online feminism.
Yeah, fight people that are oppressing, females on the space.
That word fight, I love that you keep using fight because yes, it is a fight. It is a fight.
Do you know what it is? Yeah,
you're correct.
I'm 100% down.
I don't. I'm very confused about the social media feminism now. I need you to explain what you said.
So they had to fight. Like I'm still saying fight because like there are a lot of predators online. I know.
Exactly.
Sometimes I'm grateful that I don't have a sister, right? There are a lot of sexual predators online. People that go into your DMs without your permission or whatever and send you some stupid shit, and then when you don't respond to them, they send you some other stupid shit. Even on Snapchat, you see them there, right? So social media feminists are basically there to like fight them.
The thing is, with your sorry.
That's cool.
You basically highlighted that feminists of old, if you were to ask them what they are fighting for, they could give you like a concise list.
Yeah.
I think that feminists of old, I don't think they could give you a concise list because it's not that easy. Like the NSAS, let me use the NSAS for example. NSAS people, we said, we are fighting against bad governance. We are fighting against SARS, sorry.
Yeah.
That developed into fighting for bad governance once people realized that, SARS is just a symptom of a bigger problem.
Yeah.
So that it's like that with feminism. I can come into an online space and say, okay, I'm going to attack online misogyny. And then I realize that this misogyny does not end online. Like people, once they come in and they log onto social spaces and then they are being misogynistic on there, what happens when they log off? So
the reason I said feminists of old could easily give you a concise list of what they are fighting for as of the time. Because I feel like they had a better approach to things, right? The problem is big. The issue is large. It is vast when it comes to like getting women and like stuff like that to be on the same level on par with men. It's a lot. You can't fight everything the same day. I feel like they were smarter as to pick a struggle, fight it, win it, on to the next, right? Because over time it changed. from all that, it became women in politics, having women in politics, having them in position of power, position of authority and things like that, right? So they were able to fight for things one step at a time. I'm not saying the way you guys are going about it now, I think it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong.
Would be a right
I'm trying to word my shit correctly. I'm not saying it's entirely wrong, but it's like it would be better or easier. I'm not saying there's no problem. There's a problem, right? But attacking the problem, it has to be one step at a time. The way feminists have been going about it now is why people now start asking themselves, am I even a feminist? Because it feels like I don't think I'm fighting for what they are fighting for. So understand? It's like there are a lot of girls that I know, right? They are all about they'll fight for the girls, they are girls or however they put that nonsense, right? But it's like, if you ask them, are they feminists? They'll tell you they don't even know. Because it's going to the point now we don't even know what feminists are fighting for. It starts to feel like, oh, what do you people want?
Okay.
Because the basic.
Do you understand?
They
I feel like
actually
It's a
gotten.
question most people need answers to.
And I don't think there is an answer to it.
I think there is.
What's the
Okay.
answer?
Okay. So if you were to ask me what I'm fighting for as a feminist, I would give you this umbrella and I'll say, okay, I want a better world for women. I did not say a more equal world for women, because as a radical feminist, I do not believe in addressing symptoms of certain systems. I won't say, okay, the reason women are treated like this in society is because of this. Okay, let me address this symptom. I would say, let me get to the root cause of why the system is. That involves questioning, like cultural norms, for example, gender roles. They are offshoots of religion, cultures, traditions. So
Okay.
in addressing that, you have to now look at the culture, look at the religion.
If you could pinpoint one thing in the Nigerian society to fix to help women, to help Nigeria be better for women, what's one thing you would say? Oh, like if you could just write it and it to be fixed, what's one thing you would write?
Just one thing.
Just one.
How do I pick one thing?
No,
How do I
right
pick
now
Like you've
just
listed a
pick
lot.
one
You
thing.
listed a lot.
You've
Like,
listed a lot. What
yeah, gender
was
roles
one
and all that.
solution you just feel that they could?
One solution. Okay. That would be hard, because the way I see it, they're all connected. Like all systems of abuse, all systems that subjugate women are connected. And I can't look at one of them and be like, okay, I want to fix this, because then I'm like, why am I living this? So if I had to pick one, I would pick. What would I pick? I would pick religious. I'll pick the religious aspect, I think, because religion is fast shaping, or it has shaped a lot of unequal systems. It has shaped a lot.
In terms of
So if
what?
I were to, like, for example, the whole what's it called, man of the house, neck, leg, eye, whatever, of like people, how people address the system.
What
the man
do you?
is the head,
Okay.
the woman the neck. That's an unequal system.
Is it?
Anyway,
What do you understand by that?
okay. Basically, if you were to come from a biblical standpoint,
Yeah.
and God said, not God, but like if we were
The
to
Bible
look at
said.
it from, yes, a biblical standpoint, if we were to look at it from how preachers would teach it, they say the man is the leader, he's the head of the home.
Okay.
Okay, the woman is to follow, and then some will use words like she's the neck, so she supports the home.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is an unequal system in and of itself.
But without your neck, your head can't turn, right?
Sure, but
So
why are we like,
why are we the one
So
controlling how
addressing-
things are done?
no, like, why
Because-
are we looking at the home as something that should have a leader and then a supporter?
So
The way I see it,
Let me
Okay.
say that. The answer is because there can't be two captains on the ship,
why is it a ship?
because it's literally
why can't you have captains?
relationship, right? Because that's the best way to describe it. Everybody's headed in one direction. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right?
Everybody heading in one direction.
Yeah.
So why is the better approach to everybody heading in one direction not, okay, you know what to do in this best situation, you know how to steer this ship, if I'm using the ship analogy, you know how to steer the ship, because let's say you're the more financial buoyant one, okay, you steer the ship. I know how to steer this ship because I'm the more knowledgeable one, especially when it comes to like child rearing. Let me steer the ship. that is a more balanced system, and that is a system that requires
So
two captains.
you feel
Mm.
that it's just that terminology,
It's
that word, that particular statement that you feel is wrong.
It's not the statement, it's the
Idea
whole
behind it.
outlook. Yes, the idea behind it.
How
I
do you-
understand what she's saying, Debbie.
The ideal. Do
Right.
you know what an ideal? Should I describe what an ideal home looks like to me?
Okay,
As
tell
a
me.
feminist, should I
Yes,
describe
please.
that? Okay, I think an ideal home situation looks like parents, people, the children. Nobody is treated as above the other. Nobody is treated as the owner or like the captain of a ship. Everybody sees this as like a partnership. I'm in this with you. I
Do you
want
100% think that that's a religious problem, though?
It's a religious problem.
No,
because
I don't feel
it's not a problem, but like religion says this is how the system should be. The
Is it
father
what
as
they
the leader.
say, or is how the people choose to understand it?
Yes, but the thing
Because
is,
I've said this same statement, you made this same explanation on how you see. I've seen Christians who understand the head and the neck treat their family the same way, because that's the basic standard on how it's supposed to be.
yes, I think I can't say it's
Because
solely a
everybody knows
religious
their
problem,
roles.
because the invention of gender roles to begin with, it is
Okay.
something that religion had a lot in shaping.
Okay.
Religion like greatly shaped gender roles. If it
How
was
so?
the invent of, okay, for example, in Islam, in Christianity, the woman is supposed to be feminine. You have the Proverbs 31 woman and whatnot. The woman is feminine. She's nurturing. She's willing to, work for her family. She's willing to like contribute, and then she recognizes the husband as the head, the leader. That's the ideal woman.
Okay.
If I were to use that word, that's the ideal woman. So this, in you saying that this is the ideal woman, you basically set a standard. You said for women to chase this ideal or like become this ideal, you have to be this kind of woman. You have to be nurturing. You have to be feminine.
Are women
You have
not
to-
nurturing in nature?
They are not. I don't think it's a nature thing.
You don't think? Okay.
I think the thing with that's even the issue of gender roles. Gender roles, it's when people are socialized to fit into a certain standard, which is what gender roles are. People are socialized to that this is how you be a man, this is how you be a woman. That is not a natural occurrence. If those socializations were not in place, would we be the same way we are? Would people believe that we are naturally nurturing as women if we are not raised from childhood, like with toys, with demands to enter the kitchen, with caring for younger siblings? If all of this were not systems that were in place, or if they were systems that affected both men and women, if boys were raised with toys where they had to care for babies, if boys were also told, oh, go into the kitchen, cook and all of that, take care of your siblings, would boys as a result become nurturing? So now it's like, is it socialization that comes to play in why women are considered nurturing, or is it a natural thing? And if it's natural, why are people concerned with forcing this? If it were natural, you wouldn't have to force it.
Why do you think people force it?
I think people force it. It's when you have children, what's in your mind now is, oh, let me buy a doll so my child knows how to take care of babies, or like you buy a doll and
People
then your
buy
interest
dolls
is-
for kids to
Yes.
know how to take care of babies.
Yes, it's maybe they don't buy it with that intent, but that is what I think happens as a consequence. You give a girl child, a doll, you tell her, oh, that's your baby, or hold it, or is your baby. The girl will see it, she watches her mother. She sees the way her mother carries her younger sibling. She's like, okay, let me do that with my doll too. The boy is not given a doll to like emulate that
So why don't you feel that just comes naturally?
because I exist. and
Because
I'm not-
a guy can have access to the sister's doll and not do that.
because he would not be given the same like freedom to. There are a lot of people, especially if you look on social media, a lot of people, they heavily segregate their children's toys. Like a lot of people, not even on social media, a lot of people, they denigrate, they designate this as a boy toy, a girl toy, and children are not allowed to play too much with the others. When you buy trucks for your boys, and then the
This
boy
is
is
the first time
touching
I'm
the
hearing
doll.
about this, though.
Like
by the way.
I'm
First time.
That's,
weird.
I'm genuinely shocked. I see a
I
lot
am
of
shocked
people,
about it.
their son carries their sister's toy, their baby, and they're backing it, and they're like, will you put that thing down? Are you a girl? You've not seen that sort of system.
No.
That's
I
crazy
haven't.
to me.
But sorry, let me take this back real quick. Right. Majority of the things that you've said, I would agree with you. However, I don't think they are religious problems. So it begs the question,
Okay.
do you have a problem with religion?
Do I have a problem with religion? I don't have a problem with religion. I have a problem with how religion is practiced, especially in countries like Nigeria, for example.
Okay.
Nigeria is not a country that gives room for people who do not fit, like, who do not conform to certain systems. A system, for example, is the religious system. Have you seen how we treat atheists? Have you seen how we treat traditional worshippers? Have you seen how we treat anybody who does not subscribe to the Christianity and Islam? That in itself is conditioning. You're saying, oh, if you don't behave like this, if you don't choose this, if you don't do this, we would abuse you. And the abuse could be something. It would not always be like vocal abuse. It could be something sort of like, for example, and I do consider it abuse. You're in a system now, you're in a classroom, for example, they're like, oh, let us pray. Nobody is concerned with, is everybody here practicing? Should I ask, do you want to pray? Before I say, let us pray, do I just take up worship in a class? I don't know if everybody's religious. That's lack of
But if you're not
consideration.
interested, you could just sit out.
You could sit out, but is it something that a lot of people feel comfortable doing, given how they are treated?
So that's not a religious problem. That is a you problem then, because you feel, how will people actually sense you, or because you want to belong to what they are doing. It's just like you see everyone smoking here. They just come sharing weed. Do you smoke?
No.
Would you take that weed to smoke it?
No, but
Would you care at that moment how people will actually see you if you don't smoke it?
it depends. I feel like it's not that easy of a question. If I were a non-smoker in, for example, a family of smokers, I were a non-smoker in a school where everybody smoked, even though I don't smoke, I will feel the pressure to take the weed.
So don't you feel it's a you problem and not the person giving it to you?
It could be a me problem, but it could be also a problem that is influenced by how welcoming the space is. If I confidently say, oh, I'm not a smoker, how would that translate? Would it look like, oh, my family of non-smokers disowning me, or my family of non-smokers saying, you must smoke whether you like it or not, as long as you're in my house? What would that look like? That now frames my choice or like my decision. My decision cannot happen in a vacuum. The spaces you hold or the spaces you create for me, they influence my decision. If I come from a family of smokers where they're like, oh, if you don't smoke, it's fine. If I come from a society where they say, oh, if you don't smoke, it's fine, I would not feel something. I would feel more confident.
So essentially, you're saying that the Nigerian society is not welcoming
It's not
for
welcoming.
other,
Yes.
types of.
Their parents, I'll tell you, you must go to
I don't know if I agree, right? Because how do I put it now? It depends on how extreme, it goes.
No, to be sincere, that I get to an extent what you just said about the Nigerian society, because there are some things, especially when you're still under your parents' roof, they'll be like, as long as you're in my house, you will do this. When you get your own house, you can do whatever you like.
What exactly is the current, or what's exactly are the current present day feminists fighting for?
Okay, so I can only speak for myself. I can speak for my friends. I can speak for my family in large. I can say, okay, we are fighting for a better society for women, not a more equal society, because sometimes being equal does not change the fact that women are still subjugated. Okay, and an example I want to use is like the military, for example. I was trying to use the military, but I forgot my thought process. For example, the military, for the longest time, it was like a boys' club. Only boys, only men could join. Only men were forced to join, so women could not join. If I were more concerned with making things equal, I would say, okay, make the military something that women can join, full stop. Now I've done my job as achieving equality. But in achieving that, it has not changed the fact that when women are in the military, they are at higher risk of rape. They are not given things like maternity leave. All these things like affect their experiences. So I can't pretend, oh, their experiences are not being, they don't experience this military a different way to men. I can't close my eyes to that and be like, okay, but that's not really my problem. I've achieved equality of, women can join the military as much as men.
Wait, so that means it would be safe to say that you are a feminist that's fighting for equity instead of equality.
Sure, yes.
So you're not fighting for equality, you're
It's not
fighting for
equality. The thing is, even the systems that we want to be equal, those systems, they do not, what's it called? They do not protect or like they do not better serve women, and they do not even better serve men to an extent. They are just systems that have existed for the longest, and people do not want to change it. For example, in this military example that I use, I don't even think we should be having a military in the first place. Especially a military where you have to coerce. There are lots of people that they join the military not because I have this innate patriotic need to serve my country. They join it because they can't afford healthcare. They can't afford the US system, for example. They join because they are poor.
Yeah. I said the other time when we were talking about police case, like majority of them are in the police because there's no other place for them to get money from.
There's no other place. So
I agree with you.
I don't want to steal.
I agree with
So
you.
you want to try and steal legally.
It's not a system that like serves
So this
men or women.
makes
So it
me
should be scrapped. That's why in my definition of radical feminism, I said I'm concerned with the roots. Whereas somebody might look at the symptoms and be like, okay, the symptom of military being an unequal system is that women are not accepted. Okay, let's make women accepted and then they are done. Me, I'm more concerned with why do we even have a military in the first place? Can anybody join the military? Is this military used?
essentially you're fine for everybody.
Yes, sure. Yes.
So can we take out the feminism?
So
You have to keep the feminism in.
Why?
I get your fight for women more. Or it's like women are the reason why you're even doing the fight in the first place.
You know why?
Right.
Because majority of the women.
I feel like why women have to be concerned with feminism is because in society, in today's society especially, systems like there are lots of systems that are existent. They're like religion, culture. These systems are systems that they have been catered towards men for the longest time.
Do you think it gets to a point with feminism that it slowly just becomes misandry? Not slowly, but just becomes misandry.
The thing is, what misandry is, we would define misandry as the hatred of men.
Yes.
Full stop. I'm not surprised to find that there are misandries. I'm not surprised by the existence of misandries because it's a lot of women, they go through so much abuse. They see like day in and day out, the world looks like it's less and less fit for them. It's not surprising that they would hate the people who currently benefit the most from these systems. It's not surprising that they would hate the people who uphold these systems the most, especially in their own experience. It's not really surprising to me. Like you, especially if you were to meet someone who, okay, she's fighting for certain issues in her workplace, she's meeting so many different kinds of women who are in prison for fighting back, women who have been raped, women who go through domestic violence. It's not surprising that you would just hate everything about men as a result, because you see them as like the problem. Anywhere there's any problem, they are there. It's not, so I'm not surprised.
Are you in that light as well? Like, would you say that you?
Would I say I hate men? I don't think so. I'm surprised it took this long for the question to come up, because normally in this kind of cases I expect that to be the first question. Are you a feminist? Do you hate men?
No, not really, because of what you explained so far. So it didn't go that direction.
In my experience, I would say that I'm less concerned with. I don't hate men. I'm more so indifferent to men. Indifferent in the sense that, okay, you exist, okay, but like I'm not really moved until I see that, until you show me that you can be a safe person. I'm not really concerned with your existence.
Valid. That's how every human being should be. However, I have a problem with the women that claim to be feminists but are obviously misandrist. Or would you say that they are the same thing in this day and age?
Misandry is not a political movement, so it can't be the same as feminism. Misandry is a consequence of living. It's like a what's it called? A side effect of misogyny. It's something women have taken as a response to this. You can't fight misogyny. You look everywhere, every system there's misogyny. I give up. I just hate you. Please stay away from me. That's that kind of response that they feel. So they are not doing this as like a political movement. They are just, when I see people who...
No, they are not doing this as political movements, right? But it is basically hand in hand with feminism. Because here's what I say. When you become a feminist to a certain point, like you've been a feminist since you were 7, questioning systems, questioning why this is and why that is, right? Yeah. It gets to a point that it just becomes everything is men, for men, protecting men, but protecting women, nothing. So at this point, it's like, guy, like anything, any man,
Mm.
the system is protecting you, so I just hate you for that because society is protecting them.
I feel like it can't get to that point, or that's not the end result of feminism, because for it to get to that point, you would be ignoring this term, bioessentialism. You'd be ignoring it. Bioessentialism, basically, it's the way my ancestors keep holding my tongue, especially when I need to pronounce words that have L's in them. But bioessentialism, basically, it is the belief or the feeling that what's it called? Biology dictates.
Yeah.
Biology dictates how you present, basically. That's like, it's not textbook definition, but that's basically what bioessentialism is. It's like, because you are this sex, you would have these mannerisms. So that's what bioessentialism is. Please now. Please.
Sorry.
So basically, as a feminist, you have to recognize that, I can quickly delve into, like, if I see a continued repeat behavior from men especially, it will be easy to write it off as, that's just how men are, that's just how they do. But in writing it off as, that's just how men are, you're now saying that nothing can be done to change that. You're saying that, because of their biology, because they are men, they behave like this. And that's not the case. That's why I said this whole thing of nurturing is innate. I don't believe anything is innate, especially how we present our society. I don't believe it's innate. I think it's as a result of heavy socialization.
Do you believe you're gonna get married someday?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's very random.
Not random, like.
But I've never once like cared for marriage, for example. Like I've never, as a child, I've never seen, I can't wait to be married. I know a lot of people have that experience. They're like, I can't wait to be married. I can't wait to like wear the gown. I've never seen that as like.
Do you think there's a possibility maybe you would want to get married? Do you want to get married?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. I know I don't. I don't know why I said I don't think so. I know I don't want to get married.
Okay, so you don't want to get married.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's born out of it. Like, I like my space. Like I love
So you don't
my
like
space.
it?
So it's not about the feminism thing
It's not
at
about
all.
People exhaust me. I want to be able to come home at the end of a long day and it's just me. I don't want to be hearing.
So you don't like people, you don't like kids, I
like kids, but like I like kids because they are not mine. Like once I'm done playing with a child,
you can give them back to the owner.
Yes, like basically that's what I love about
I hear
children.
I hear you.
And then when it comes to like the relationship aspect, you have your house, I have my house. Like okay, we've seen that's good. I'm going back to my house, not the one that I come home. You're there. I go, you're there. You're just there. No, it's
so,
even the thought of it.
So you can do relationship, but not marriage. I can do relationships,
but not. I don't want anybody like in my house. I don't
what if you're going to be neighbors?
So how you doing relationship and you don't want to get married?
I've not.
What if you're doing neighbors? You get to meet somebody like you. And you do neighbors.
Neighbors is even a stretch because
you still be seeing him in your compound.
Like, okay, maybe like several buildings away.
You
have your space. I want like demarcated spaces.
No, it's fine. You shouldn't get married. It's fine.
So there's like I want to say older cultural practice, not cultural practice, but like I think Igbo men back then, right? They have their rooms. Men, the husband has his room and the wife has their room. So it's the same house, but like you have your space and they have their space.
So she doesn't want to see the face.
Do you believe that women can do all jobs, right? Do you believe a woman can go
odd jobs?
All jobs, like jobs that men do, like climbing skyscrapers just to fix pillars and stuff, or go 10,000 kini deep in the seas and like do stuff like that.
Why not?
So you're advocating that, basically bringing back to what I said, you're advocating that everybody could do whatever they want.
Yes, basically, sure.
Basically,
sure. Yes. If the thing is, would I do these jobs?
Yes. Would you do these jobs?
No.
You wouldn't do it.
Yes.
And why is that?
I don't believe men should do it because they are men. That's where the difference now comes in. People think, as a feminist, you're being hypocritical if you say, I won't do these jobs, full stop. It means you're saying, basically. I'm not saying men, I don't even believe some of these jobs that are considered men jobs are jobs men should be doing in the first place. Like all this laying of cement, and you go to certain societies, they use forklifts for everything.
Yeah,
because a human being is not supposed to be carrying that much weight on their back. And then
the effect is different. So Like the
effect
effect,
because
the
for,
effect of
for
men,
yes, because
on
for
men
you
and
saying
women is gonna be
you're
different.
protecting women, you mentioned something about sugarcane.
Yes,
something that they
sugarcane
have to
factories, yes.
because
Yeah,
of
in
the
India.
effects it has on
Yes.
them. You understand?
and it doesn't affect men like
it doesn't
that.
affect men that way. So it's as though you're contradicting what you're
Or wouldn't
saying.
you say that it is a natural segregation?
Yes.
To say that. No, wouldn't you say it's a natural what would I call it now? Like a natural
Like men doing these
method
jobs
to
is
pick
just-
that. Yeah, like
Yes,
it's
fix
fine
that.
for men
Yeah.
to do it. And then
But
women,
it's not
for
so
you.
safe.
Do you know why I don't think it's natural? Because for the longest time, these jobs, for example, I feel like if it was natural, anybody would be able to just walk in and say, "Oh, I want to do these jobs," but that's not the case.
No, you don't get what I'm saying. I'm saying like for the women, like you said in India, they had to take out their HRS so they could work longer hours. Men wouldn't have to take out anything to work longer hours.
So as a result, men should do these jobs more.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So it's like
because
nature
you
has
want to
decided.
protect them,
Yeah,
women.
But-
That's you mentioned that's what you
Yes.
want to do.
But do you know
Protecting,
why
making.
men are not going to do these jobs more? Because these are jobs that people do because they are poor.
So you don't have an issue them just saying just men should do this job since it's so dangerous for the ladies. You
Not-
don't have an issue with it.
Do I think that that's why? Starting with,
Some
do I
of
think
the
that's
majority
why
of
a
the
lot
jobs, that's
are
why,
not
yes.
done? Because people believe it's dangerous for women.
dead
If that
ass.
was the case, if you see a woman insisting on doing this job, you would let her. I say, okay, let's, like, you would see why I said you should not do the job in the first place. But for the longest time, these were jobs that were exclusively allowed, like only men were allowed to do. Meaning, if I were to come and say, okay, I have this natural strength, I've been packing bricks since I was a child, I want to do this.
The system,
Why
okay, you're basically saying that the
You're not
system
going
doesn't
to
allow them to even try.
Yes.
Right?
Why
agree.
don't you see from this point? I'm sorry that the system is trying to protect
the
the women, just as feminists are trying to protect us.
Do you know why I don't see that way? I don't see that way because you cannot define protection as, you cannot like frame restriction as protection. I feel like if you wanted to protect women in these jobs, you would make the jobs safer for women. For example, like this sugarcane picking and whatnot, if you wanted it to be safer for women, if you wanted to protect women, you make it so that, okay, instead of doing these jobs for 24 hours in a day and then paying you chicken change, I will let you do it 5 hours and then I'll pay you how much.
And they
I'm
can
supposed to
pay you split of the chicken
They
change
don't
now.
do that. They make it so that you do the entire 24 hours and you're getting chicken change.
Or for women.
Everybody.
That's
not
a-
the
that's-
problem.
that's a
It's
societal
now
problem now.
society. It's now the problem is with the system. That's why I said I don't want to fix the symptom. I don't want to say, okay, do this job.
You see,
or
this
don't do
just
this
brings
job.
us back to the point that you're fighting for everybody. You're fighting.
Yes.
You're fighting against
As a
systems
result,
that
it's
don't
going
work
to-
properly,
It's not going to,
and that's fine, right? But it's just some things that I don't necessarily agree with. I personally feel like gender roles. Yeah, the basis of gender roles is natural. The basis of it, right? The extreme levels of it, not necessarily. That part is where culture comes in, religion comes in. Like a woman is
Wait,
being
can
beaten
you-
as she's
Can you
sitting there.
explain what part you consider like natural?
Natural. Now, when I said the basis, men don't have titties. Men cannot get pregnant, right? Women do that. You give birth and then you're going to breastfeed your child, right? A man is not going to do that.
But
That's natural.
not gender rule.
That's taking care of your child. While the man
That's
gets the
nurturing
other
your
things
child.
too.
That's nurturing. Okay, so
It's part
the-
of nurturing.
the gender roles that women are. But the thing is that those gender roles frame nurturing as something that women are wired to do.
That's why I said the basis, right? However, when it becomes extreme, it's now what society and culture and religion brings to the table. Do you understand? Now, the extreme side of it is when people now say, oh, because I have 2 kids in this marriage, regardless of whether it's toxic or not, I have to stay. That's societal. That's cultural. Do you understand? But I am of the opinion that you should take care of your children. It's natural. Like,
It's natural.
women are more connected to their babies than the men are biologically.
How so? I feel like if that was the case, if biologically women were more connected to their babies,
Yeah.
things like postpartum depression that makes women there's this surge of hormones, there's this surge of like emotions. It makes some women in that instance dangerous to their own children. There are cases of women, they've drowned their babies because of postpartum depression. If it was natural to just be caring or nurturing towards your child, such a thing would not exist.
Okay, so let me say this here.
But
When
you just stated that there is something behind what causes that. Hormones, which still affects your thinking and everything.
Yeah.
So why don't you see it that those are the causes of them doing that? Why do you just blame it on nurturing?
No, I don't blame it on nurturing. I feel like those things happen normally. They are natural. It's natural for this thing. It's not all women experience it, but it's natural if you were to experience it. It does not make
And
it like
if it's being managed right, that's when it doesn't
you're able
go
to manage
extreme.
it. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that it's showing that. Sorry, what was your question? I'm not seeing it as like a problem of nurturing. I see it as, if you say it's what's it called, natural for women to be nurturing. In that instance, if you say women, it's natural for you to be nurturing, you're not going to want to hold space for the fact that not all women are not nurturing. You're going to take it as an unnatural decline from the norm. You're going to see these women that are not nurturing and say that, oh, these women are unnatural. They don't know what they are doing. They're an abomination of sorts. And that's the case. In some, we do this practice where grandmothers, husbands, wives, they come for omugwo, basically. They come to stay with the woman as the woman is breastfeeding and all of that. And they are trying to like get her to know, oh, you do this because of this. In that instance, some women are exhausted. Some women, they are not connected to their babies. Because there is this societal belief that women are normally natural, like that's just a normal thing. These women are now shamed. You're telling a new mother, oh, carry your baby now. You see that she's hesitating. She's not feeling it. She's not feeling the need to she's even crying as she's doing because she's not connected to the child. If you understood that, or if you hold space for the fact that it's normal for women to be nurturing, it's normal for them to not be nurturing, you will not see that as like an abomination. You see it as, oh, this person has not immediately connected. If she does happen to connect to this child, that's normal. If she doesn't happen to connect, that's also normal, provided that she can actually take care of the child. But because these people consider nurturing as normal, anything as abnormal, in that instance, they abuse the women. They say, why are you not carrying your baby? Are you a witch?
Sorry,
why can't you carry...
I like where you're going with this, right? Is it normal to give birth to a child without brain?
Brain?
Yeah.
That happens sometimes.
Is it normal?
It's not... Is it normal? Normal in the sense that when we say something is normal, it happens.
Is it normal?
It happens without
Like if it happens, will you call it a normal stuff?
Normal in the sense that yes, it happens.
It's just like giving birth to a child. All childs come with brains.
Yes.
And it's coming, a particular child coming without brain.
Would you say
you won't call it normal? It's abnormal.
It's
There might be consequences that happened or things that happened that made it. But still it's not normal.
It's abnormal. If something caused it, and normally this would not have been so. Let's say she was not taking proper folic acid, all of that, and as a result, that would now be
so
abnormal.
that is abnormal.
Yes.
Okay, you've
but
answered.
like if she were to do all of that and then still the baby is born without a brain,
Yeah.
that would be like a spontaneous. It's not normal, but it happened spontaneously.
It's just that word. Not
Either
normal.
ways, it's not normal
It's
to give
not
birth to a
normal.
baby without brain, right?
Okay.
There are causes, there are things that would have happened to cause that. That makes me understand that. Just because this mother doesn't connect with that child and we say, oh, it's not normal, doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It happens, but it's not normal. The normal reaction would be you give birth to your child, you're happy, the first thing you want to do is carry your child. Because how many, like, I feel like, I don't know the exact statistics, but I would say maybe 8 in 100 mothers would have postpartum depression that would want to make them kill their babies. So it is still safe
Not
to
all
say.
of them actually go through. There's the ideation.
I know. Like it's just the thing that's happening in their brain, right? So if 8 in 100 and then 92 out of 100 are happy with their babies, it's safe to say that that's the normal reaction, and then the other 8 are having something different from normal. Do you get?
Okay. But if I were to like still harp on this thing, I would say that those women, I feel like a lot of people, I think the problem even starts from before they have the children. The problem. A lot of women, if they are being honest with themselves, more women than we think.
Yeah, they don't want to have children at all.
They don't want to have children.
Yeah.
But then there's this societal expectation,
Pressure,
this cultural, this religious expectation that you would marry at a point, you would have children. Because they succumb to this pressure, they do have children. So when the disconnect is not happening, people are like,
have
oh,
to
this
live
is
with
not
the
normal.
consequences.
It's actually normal because they don't want that.
So
child in
the truth
first
is,
place.
it's actually isn't normal. Just that the fact that it's not normal is not a bad thing. It's as a result of something.
Yes.
That brings us to the end of this episode of the podcast. Thank you guys for watching. If you stayed to this point, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I forgot to tell you guys before, but join our WhatsApp community. The QR code is going to be up there. Join it, right? And thank you for watching to this point.
Wait, can you tell them to join our WhatsApp community?
And tell them to like and subscribe to.
Yeah, tell them.
Okay, join the WhatsApp community. What's the
Like,
WhatsApp
comment, and subscribe.
The link is in the bio.
the Hot Potato Podcast?
Yes.
The link is in the bio.
The link is in bio. Just click
Yeah,
on it.
the link is in the bio. Make sure you click it. Like, comment, subscribe, like I said. And comment your favorite part of the pod and what you think about it. If you're a feminist, if you believe that what feminism is fighting for. Yeah. See you guys on the next one.
Bye.